Hi, and welcome to today's video where we're going to talk about creating classes and adding students. We can add students multiple ways via import, manually, and with a code. So let's jump right in. You'll notice on the left navigation you have a feature, an option called Classes and Assignments. You're going to click the Classes and Assignments link on the left navigation, and then you're going to be brought to where you can see your various classes. So these are classes that I've already created. Now, if I want to go ahead and add a class, up to the top right, I'm simply going to click the Add a Class icon up top. Here I can choose an image, I can name my class, add a description, and the system will automatically create a code. This code is something you can use to add students to the system and to a class later on. We'll talk about more details. So once you click save, after you've added your image, given it a title, make sure you click save, and then you'll be asked, do you want to add your students? And you just simply say yes. And this is your next screen. You'll be brought to the option where first thing you'll see are existing users. So you can see that I created the class, so I'm a user in the class. Now we want to be able to go ahead and add additional users. Let's go ahead and talk about the search user option first. We search a user only if they already exist in the system. We wouldn't be able to find somebody if they weren't already there. So maybe we imported or they were added for some other reason and you just want to be able to now add them to your class. It's super easy to do. The screen, once you click search user, you'll be brought to this screen where you can just type in the name. You just want to type either just the first or just the last, not both. So I just typed the first name, demo, and I don't need to put a grade or a role or a school. But you do need to click search. So you'll type the name and then you need to click search. Once you do that, this pop-up will appear in the bottom. And when you see this pop-up, you'll notice that you have first names, last names, usernames, student or teacher, what type of role they are, and grade. So it really helps you to define and make sure in case some users had the same names, you'll be able to look closely and see who you're looking for. Also, I'm going to talk real briefly about the ZUNI educator community. Maybe I'm at one school, but I have a friend who teaches at another district and she has ZUNI as well. I can also look her up and I could add her to my class. So if I were working in collaboration with, maybe I had some professional development with multiple districts and I want to continue to collaborate with people from other schools or other districts, you can by simply using the ZUNI educator community, and it all works the same. So once I have noticed this, that I'm going to come in and I'm going to check the users I want to put in. I'm going to put some users that are students and some that are teachers. Maybe I want to have a co-teacher. Maybe myself and the special education teacher want to co-teach a class together. So I can have her in the class to co-teach with me, which will give her all rights as a teacher just as I have. So once I select the users I want to add to my class, I'm just going to come over to the right-hand side and I'm going to make sure I save. So click the save button and then it will take you back to the existing users and you'll now see all of the users you have in your class. Notice this co-teacher, I can check the co-teacher box. So I want this demo teacher to have all the same rates that I have in working with this class, and so I just simply click that option and now they'll be able to work right alongside me as well. So this is how I can come and take a look at the users that I've added to my class. Now let's go talk about sending a code. We'll look at this option of adding users next. So if I go back and I look at my list of classes, I notice right from the beginning that I see a code. This is the code that a student will use to be able to either A, get into the ZUNI system, or B, just simply be added to a class for a particular teacher. So let's go ahead and take a look. How do we get into the system using the code if the student currently is not in the system? Maybe I purchased ZUNI online and I need to get my students into the system. You can simply go to the login screen where it says login, and you'll notice underneath the login option you have a join a class. It's super easy. Click the join a class and then you'll be brought to this next pop-up, and from this pop-up you'll put the code. So the teacher may have the code on the board, appearing in the code, may have written it, may be projecting their computer onto it. But either way, the student will simply type the code into here, and it is case sensitive. So make sure it's typed exactly as it is listed with capitals or non-capitals. Then after you put the code in, it's just going to be submit, and then this pop-up will come up. This is where the student will put their first name, their last name, their username and password, or their username, their password, and select their primary grade, and just simply click sign up. So once they do that, they'll be able to now be in the system as well as also be in your class. So now let's take a look. What if we want to add a student to a class who already exists in the system using a code? So maybe we departmentalize, and the students, I've already put the students in via import, or they exist, but now I want to let another teacher add those students as well, or they may just want to be used that direction. It's easy to do. The student's going to be logged into their platform, and there's going to be a plus button on the right hand side. They'll simply click the plus button and they'll see an option to join a class. They'll click join class, and then they're going to be brought to that same screen where they can enter the code. They'll enter the code, remember it is case sensitive, and they'll click submit. And that's all they have to do. And now they're going to be in your class. And how will they know? Well, it's easy, because when they come back to their screen, they see my classes. They'll click on my classes and there will be your class. And then any assignments that you may be giving through there will show up as well. So it's super easy using a code, either to A, put a student in the ZUNI database, or B, simply add them to a classroom. The other option to talk about, we're not going to talk about importing users today, because oftentimes we just do that and it's not something that teachers really do very often. So let's talk about manually adding a user. So if I want to manually add a user, I just click manually add user. I can choose an image, but I don't have to. A default image will be Dream Big. And then I can come in and just simply put the first name, last name, username, password. Try to keep the formats the same, whatever you're using for your classes and your students. The user role will default automatically. You'll just select the primary grade and you're done. Everything else will default for you. Click save and you're ready to roll. So that's all it takes to be able to get students into your class as well as also into the system. You can print your users, because it's very important to remember and make sure everyone's usernames and passwords are what you think they are. And then when you come in, you'll just simply click the print option. It will show you. You can print it to any printer that you're connected with. And notice over here that you have the name, the username, the user role, and the grade. You will not see the password. That's just security reasons. We're not allowed to show the password. But if you're uncertain, you have the right to go and change any student's password. But you cannot see the password, but you can change it any time that you need to. So now you can have this printed view of everyone's username and to help them log in. And so today you did a great job simply creating your first class and adding your students. Once you have these two things done, now you'll be able to make assignments, share gardens, share widgets with them, collaborate via widgets. So it's really exciting now that you have this piece done. Remember that you can follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, keep up with content we post, and also subscribe to us on YouTube, which is where we have additional training materials, as well as with Inside ZUNI. And also, please remember that you can chat with us. Your input is valuable to us because we are here to assist you with your needs and to help support all the great work that you are doing in the classrooms. So thank you so much for joining us today, and we hope that you continue to have a happy time ZUNI.